G'day guys, and welcome back to 32 Builds. Here with another video on the Datsun 1200. Last time I refreshed and painted the whole steering column. Today I'll be prepping the interior of the firewall as well as the pedal box and getting the steering column back into the car. First up, I got something really exciting in the mail, the front chin spoiler, and I just couldn't help myself but to get it mocked up to the front of the car. Piece by piece, it's starting to look like a real car again. Before we get to the firewall, let's take a look at what we're up against. And it looks like there's rust everywhere. In anticipation for what's to come, I wanted to see how bad the cabin floors were, so let's take a quick look. Under all that orange and brown, there is actually a layer of sound deadener, and the metal under that actually looks quite fresh from this side. This stuff can be removed easily with dry ice, but locked down in Sydney. Plus, I don't even know where to get dry ice from. I learnt quickly that wire wheels don't even stand a chance against this stuff. Degreaser can help with some of the remnants left behind. In the process, I also uncovered a previous repair, uncovering more history about the car. Moving on to the firewall. Since all the running gear is pretty much done, I really want to get it all back into the car and give it a test run. For that, I need to make sure the surrounding areas are treated to minimize the chance of me having to remove these parts again, like the steering column. A little more wire wheeling to go. By the end of this project, I'll probably be able to say I wire wheeled the whole car with a drill, of which is getting the work out of its life. It's not too bad when the task is split up into smaller sections. Pick a spot and work at it. If it's too big, split it up to smaller tasks. Setting achievable goals like this really helps me chip away at the build, hence the blue painter's tape. Half of the firewall ends up being a one-day job for me, taking breaks and making sure that I go over every nook and cranny. Here you can see the backside of a lot of the patch repairs that I've done so far, along with the areas where I had forgotten to strip the paint prior. Check both sides of the metal and prep before welding, or the paint, seam sealer and whatnot will probably catch fire. These repairs were some of the first I'd ever done, trying to butt weld thin metal with 0.8mm flux cored wire. I've definitely improved since then and now use a very appropriate 0.6mm gas setup. I've also got a new machine recently that allows me to adjust the voltage and feed speeds independently, which is ultra helpful, and you'll definitely be seeing that in action in future videos. So on the topic of these beautiful welds, let's hide them. I'll be slapping some seam sealer on these bad boys, protecting them from the elements, and also me from seeing them. Quick skim of rust converter, primer, then paint, and we're golden. See you in another 40 years. Next up, I'll be giving the foot pedals and the pedal box a refresh as well. Wire wheel, rust converter, primer and paint, my favourite pastime. steering column is ready to go in now. By the way, it is super important for this lower bearing to sit correctly in the bottom of the steering box. If the balls aren't sitting properly when you stick the shaft in, they'll get crushed, possibly breaking them and causing a lot of pain. Maybe smush it in some lube to ensure they stay in place. I actually did end up ruining a set of ball bearings prior to this. They just got knocked out of their seat when I inserted the steering column. That's how I know. You shouldn't feel any change in resistance when you turn the wheels for the first time while the car is lifted. The steering column is in, and the car is pretty much ready to be started again. In the next video, let's get it started. Cheers to all of you who've made it to the end of the video. Please give us a like to show support for the channel and the build. Make sure to also subscribe if you want to see more videos just like these. Peace.